Barber College Success, brought to you by Craig Charles of Crown Cutz Academy, JC, and Crown Cutz Academy, Bristol. Also, Proficient Nail Academy, downtown Johnson City. Spreading love the Tri-City way is the way. But check this out. Spreading love the Crown Cutz way is the only way. Guess what? We back at it. We back in the studio together again. It's been a couple of weeks, but we back in the studio. I know we ready. Got some fresh and new intel to talk about. But I'm going to let my guys introduce themselves. Who's going first?
I'll go first. Jordan Barr from Bristol, Tennessee. Jay Baba on Instagram. Glad to be back. It's been, I ain't been here for about 2 weeks.
The Green Goblin.
But I'm glad to be back and be here.
Yeah, Ammi, your barber, Marion, Virginia. Ammi's Barbershop and Gallery. Y'all, nobody missed this because the podcast with the last one that Craig did was amazing. Like, that's one of my favorite episodes so far with the guy with the mafia.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was dope.
That was the one before last. It? Yes, that was probably.
It was official. I told you it was.
Man, they gave me chills to think about, like how, like just the opportunities, and like. But yeah, I'm go ahead and get the episode. But that was dope. That was dope.
Yeah, the one after that was my man Brian Lomax, who cut the guys from the Colts.
That was a Zoom. He's from Indianapolis,
yeah,
right?
Indianapolis, and he's talking about, and that was major too. That was a good one too.
I haven't got a chance to see that one yet.
Yeah, that's dope. But yeah, we're gonna rock it again. We back at it. I mean, I missed you guys first off.
Oh, I appreciate it. We miss you, man.
Yeah, I mean, I know, like you said, that episode with I was like, man, it was so dope, and I'm getting so much information, and I'm like, I know Ammi would have some dope questions.
Nah,
I know Jordan has some dope. I mean,
he got a chance to express everything and like to get the whole story out.
It was almost awesome. Like a Godfather episode. Like I wish Mitch had played some Godfather music in the background. It was almost like, man,
could have had cannolis.
Yeah, am I interviewing right? I hope you don't, snatch me up after we get out of here.
Throw a bag on your head when you walk outside.
Yeah, I mean, is somebody gonna come after me after we say the wrong name or something?
You can't say no names.
Nah, you can't say no names. Up in the mafiosos up in New York, them boys are serious. And if you cutting their hair, you really got to be tight-lipped.
Oh, 100%.
But that just shows in our industry that there's certain things we have to be confidential with our clients.
There should definitely be
all around. It don't matter how big you are, how small you are, how broad. You know what I mean? No matter your status. You should be confidential with all your clients, not just people who might potentially put a hit on you.
You be talking about somebody, they be their cousin, and they're gonna go straight, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Go straight to them.
No, that's important. But yeah, we're gonna freak this episode again. Thank you to FeedSpot for ranking us in the top 25 podcasts in the world. Where we at again? Canada, America, Ireland, Iceland,
Australia, UK.
Yeah, we doing it. That's big.
Jordan just went to Cabo. He just visited Cabo.
I think I went to Cabo just because I got the set short set on, little greens.
I mean, when you're a barber making about 2 G's a week, you can
I wish I was making 2 G's a week.
That's a vacation fit though, for real.
Yeah, it is very chill. Yeah. I like it. That's the reason why I got it.
You got to come out without no socks though. No, you got to show your toes.
Nah, I can't.
You gotta have toes. It's perfectly okay for a gangster to wear sandals. That's a Kanye West quote. That's what Kanye West said.
Open toes, man. Open toes.
I mean, I ain't a gangster though.
But yeah, we're gonna jump. Jordan went to the Tennessee trade show last week.
Yes.
And how was that, Jay? And by again, I'll endorse every student, every up and coming barber should go to a hair show. I endorse that. It just turns your whole life upside down when it comes to your profession of barbering. It makes you want to become a barber 10 times to 100 level. Yeah, everybody should go to a hair show.
It opens your eyes, so like makes you realize that there's far more that you need to learn. Like it just blows your mind. Every time I go to one, it blows my mind because I'm just like, dang, that's something that like when I see a haircut, I'm like, dang, I want to try that. Or I see like a new way of doing the fade or like cutting style. Like it's a whole bunch of stuff, new products, scissors, clippers, whatever. Like there's stuff out there you need to see.
That's a great point. You're seeing new ways to do a haircut. You're seeing new styles that you might want to try. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you just work, especially for a lot of barbers who work by themselves. And I had a topic with the guy last week. One thing that you miss out on sometimes is learning from other barbers. But going to a hair show, it will teach you so many different tricks and trades and techniques that you don't have a choice but to grow when you go to a hair show.
Yeah, and and also it helps break up that monotony of waking up, doing a haircut, working 10, 12 hours, 8, 12, 10 hours on your feet. And I mean, we love what we do, but I mean, anytime you work like that all the time, it's good to have something to break it up, and that makes it feel good. And also, you can market it to your clients that you're going to get education. You're going to these classes so that you could be better, and a lot of times that could help you raise your prices or add different services and things of that nature.
I mean, by far, product sales is a major thing that a lot of barbers miss out on. And you go to a hair show, you will get to see some products that you maybe can vend in your business. So how was the hair show, Jay? How was it? What'd you like? What interested you most?
The energy was crazy. Because I went on live. I don't think Ammi joined. And I went on live right when I was about to do the barber competition. Mm-hmm. And everybody in there was hype. I mean, it wasn't like a big, it wasn't like a big, barber, expo or anything like that. But it was a good environment. It's probably at least 100 people there, maybe a little bit more.
Right.
But it was fun, good vibes, a lot of good people there, a lot of good products. There's this clipper company I never heard of. It's called Kako or something like that. And that junk their trimmers are fire. I was like,
they feel good. They feel really heavy.
They feel like a Babyliss, but a little bit more powerful.
How was the price point? What was the price comparison?
It's about the same.
About the same?
Yeah. It's about the same. It's pretty dope. Got to talk to the one of the ambassadors of Kako, and then I don't know if it's Kako. I can't remember the name of it, but he was cool. We chopped it up for a couple people. So good.
But the thing is that people don't realize when you go to the shows and networking and people you'll meet is that's one of the greatest things about going to a hair show.
Yeah, there's a lot. I met a lot of people from Atlanta. There's people from Memphis, Knoxville, Nashville.
Just some good barbers that you could just connect with.
Yeah. And a lot of them I've seen from the Knoxville, my first one I went to. The dude I actually went against in the competition, he was in the competition in Knoxville, except he wasn't in the student one, he was in the regular one. Mm-hmm. And he did a dope haircut. It was so clean. But
my bad.
No, you good. You answer.
This was your fourth?
Yeah, my fourth one.
So what is the difference between 1 and 4? Can you tell us the difference?
The feeling. The nervousness is not as bad. Wasn't shaking as bad.
Still shaking though?
No. I was just. Just a little bit. Just the first about 10 minutes.
Once the clippers come on, you good.
Yeah, once you zone in and you just let the music hit and you just getting your start feeling good. It's just like cutting in the shop. Yeah. You just got to be a little bit more precise with your movements.
Intentional.
Intentional.
You got to make sure your clippers on point.
Yeah. Yeah, gotta make sure everything's charged up and all that stuff. But other than that, it's a learning experience for everyone, I will say. It's a learning experience for this one because I feel like I didn't come in. I didn't place for anybody that want to know, but it was a good.
Nobody was going to ask that, Jordan.
No, I was just wanted just saying. But I was I wasn't well prepared as I should have needed, should have been.
So, elaborate. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. What the?
So my client that was originally supposed to go, I hit him up. Yeah. And so it threw off my whole plan for everything. So I had to pick somebody that night. I hit up whoever. I was like, you want to go to Nashville? I'll pay for everything. And he was like, yeah, bro, I'll go. Whatever. And I was like, all right, bet. So I had to take my boy Trevor. And
shout out to T. Shout out to T. That's love for coming in the clutch.
Yeah, my boy Trevor. I'll have many other clients that do the same thing, but it was just one of them that said yeah. But he came through in the clutch, and we went to the hotel, and I was up looking all through that night of haircuts that would fit his hairstyle, in his head, just had to go for it.
The client that you had, were you preparing his head up to this? Have you been practicing what you want to do up to this point?
Well, it's hard because he just came on the clutch.
No, I'm saying the one before that.
No, but I actually was I was gonna. The whole month I was actually hitting him up to come through and so I can look at his hair and kind of set it up kind of a little bit how I wanted it to look.
Your game plan.
Yeah, but he hit me up afterwards and apologized on some stuff, but
he's supposed to pay you for that.
He probably saw how lit it was.
Yeah, and he was like, man, I felt so bad. I'm sorry. I had some things go down. I said, it's cool, man. She told me, but yeah, I just felt like I was unprepared and everybody there had their clients' hair colored.
No That's
like,
a big one, right?
That's a big, yeah, it's a very big one. They had costumes on, like role play.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
that's
like
how
they
you
had
supposed to.
the dude the one I was talking about that's from Knoxville. He had a dude. He had on the boxing set. He had on boxing shorts and a championship belt. He had makeup around his eye. Looked like he had a black eye. It was pretty dope. I was like,
You could have wore that outfit, but you just unbutton like the third button down.
I mean, it counts. Yeah.
yeah, that would have been.
So I mean, but and no, it's just another way for me to learn. So I
Right.
mean, I just know next time I might want to have 2 people instead of 1. So that's all
That's
right.
a good idea.
That's
Like
a-
to have
that's
2
a-
people, have a backup.
That's a
Yeah.
real good idea because
Yeah.
most people don't think about that. So if you go in the competition, student or regular competition at a hair show, always have 2 people. Maybe have an alternate as a third, just in case, and be prepared for them to come, especially if you're driving 2 or 3,
4
maybe
hours.
4 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it ain't nothing to telling me I'll take care of everything. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I paid for 2. We stayed for 2 nights. We had a good time. It was really fun. We went downtown, ate and stuff, and I mean, I try to make it a
Experience.
3-day trip, like
Right.
just to have spend some time with my clients. And I brought my cameraman with me. Got to try to get him some exposure and stuff, and I paid him for that. So
That's
it
dope.
was a good time. I had fun.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. I mean, I think that's big. That's big. So what else did you see there that you haven't seen before? I know you
That I
talked about those
haven't-
clippers.
That I haven't seen before.
Those, what is it, Cocoa clippers?
Yeah, it's COCCO. I don't know if it's Coco or I don't know how you say it, but I'm trying to think if there's anything that I haven't seen.
You know, the dude that
Yeah.
won it, Craig, was the dude that we met at OG Barber Conference. He was
Yeah.
the one that was talking about celebrity barbers. Remember, he got up, he's talking about celebrity barbers. And he had a booth in the back where he was selling product. He's a taller guy. I don't know if you remember him or not, but he was at the OG Barber Conference.
Mm-hmm.
He's won 30 barber competitions.
I
And
mean,
he's has six awards.
but he's going in. That's,
Yeah, he's getting the reps in. I mean,
I
I'm
mean,
not
that's gonna be you.
knocking him or anything like that, but he was cold, bro. And I was like, dang. And I
He
was like,
probably lost 40 or 50.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
so,
The win is 30.
Yeah, so I mean,
but he came in there prepared. He know what to do. He analyzed. He probably
Yeah.
prepped for a whole 6 months. Like, yo, I'm going in hard on this, and that's what you gotta do. You gotta prep, but it's the same just like in school. When we talk about students preparing and doing what they got to do while they're in school, if you know some students get to school and they just fiddling their thumb, playing games, not coming to class, not coming to school, and then they wondering why their haircut's a certain way.
You got to be intentional about everything.
You have to be. You have to understand that preparation wins. You got to prepare.
Every time.
Yeah, I'm like, man. So I mean, that's what this podcast is about. Just talking about Barber College Success, preparing students or the casual person out there who wants to be a barber, or just in our industry. You just can't roll over and wake up one day and say you're gonna cut hair. You can't. I mean, you have to prepare. You have to invest in it. A lot of people, they just so like we've talked about so many times. Oh, my fade. Your fade is gonna come, but it's so much more than a fade.
yeah, you got to find some way to make yourself different. Because I mean, at the end of the day, everybody's gonna have a pretty good fade because it's just repetition.
I mean, being able to do a good fade, don't get me wrong. I'm not underestimating that.
Yeah.
That a good fade is I mean, it's dope, but diversify your portfolio when it comes to this haircutting game.
How's your customer service? What's your experience you're
Yeah.
providing?
And we talk about it all the time. But in the textbook, the first 4 chapters is what? Life skills,
History of barbering,
history of barber,
professionalism.
communication. What you talked about his presentation before you even talked about his haircut.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's in professional image. So he was into the textbook from the beginning. His life skills, he came prepared. I mean, that's evident. Before you even touch the clippers, they talk about the history of barbering. They talk about communication. They talk about life skills. They talk about professional image. I mean, if you, like, and I always tell students, if you follow the book, if you learn the book from the first page to the last page, there's no reason you can't dictate what you want your salary to be. Everything from the front to the back, from consultations to shampoo, to different types of shampoos. We have the skin texture, skin types, everything. Yeah. I mean, why not? Especially if you want to take this this industry serious. And most people get like, I love barbering. I love barber. I want to be a barber so bad. Like I was at a festival this weekend and then I had one of this barber shirt from the guys from Philly, from Juan's and brother Craig Skills up there. Craig's in Delaware, my bad. Delaware.
I was literally thinking about that. Like
Delaware.
podcast.
Juan's is in Philly.
He corrected that. He was like, "Nah, Delaware."
And I had they got a brand iconic barber, and I had the shirt. It's a dope shirt, and this kid just beeline to me. He's like, "Man, I want to be a barber. What I have to do? I've been looking for you for the longest. I'm coming to school. I'm signing up." And I'm thinking that, like, man, I hope you're real serious about this. I mean, being a barber is just, and I'm looking in his eyes and he seemed real serious because he was with like 4 or 5 of his homeboys. And he's like, man, I always wanted to be a barber. But I'm thinking like, hope you understand it's going to take some work.
People don't understand. You don't know what you don't know, right?
Right.
They just think you could just hop in here and just expect to make money off that. It takes time. It don't just happen like that.
Yeah.
The one dude burned me up, man. He tried to get in the shop before last that I worked at. This dude was trying to get an apprenticeship, and he's like, "Yeah, I think I'll come down there and just cut and make a little extra money." I'm like, "Bro, you have no idea what you're talking about." Like, that was the most disrespectful thing I've ever heard.
But like you said, you don't know until you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So hey, it's gonna be book work. Hey, you're gonna have to prepare for a test. Hey, it's gonna be like 1,800 hours.
Yeah.
And that's almost like a year and a half. 2 years.
2,000 if you do apprenticeship.
Apprenticeship, 2,000 hours.
Yeah.
And that's almost like 2 years. Are you prepared for that? That's the long haul. Are you prepared to be in school that long? Are you prepared to be in an apprenticeship that long? Because a lot of people just die out. Like, man, I don't know. I can't do this no more.
And it happens. And it's easy to do. And
Yep.
But honestly, I like that. I like that because it ciphers out.
Yeah.
I mean, you at least get people that have some sort of drive to get to that point. You know, it's become a lot easier, I feel like, to become a barber than what it used to be because there's so many resources out here to become a barber.
Right.
And, you know, like financial aid, for example, and getting into the schools. But I think at least the process of becoming a barber shifts some people out of the pool.
Yes. But when some people come, they realize that it's a commitment. And they have to go to school. They have to come on Saturdays. You have to do a perm. You have to do the roller sets. You have to be able to use your shears. You have to do all of it. And that deters some people too when they get there. That weeds some people out too. But segueing to our next point, like you just mentioned, financial aid. There's a little snippet that's been coming out about the government is trying to take financial aid from the industry. Have you guys heard about that?
Yes.
And what are your views?
I think it's going to affect a lot of people, like being able to go into school, like do school in general, because a lot of people don't have the funds to, you know, that's just, I mean, it's a hard time, especially now with everything being more expensive. And I mean, it'd be hard for people to get in school without financial aid.
Well, I know there's like TCAT and like most community college have a barber program, which a lot of people graduate from the barber programs and they come out doing well. But it's almost like an apprenticeship where I think it's about 2 years. And you don't get that many reps as far as like cutting hair. But I mean, that would be the next step for a lot of students. Or I mean, the schools are still going to be open. But it's going, like you said, it's going to be challenging for some students to come out their pocket and pay for school. Because great thing about financial aid, you go into school with no money down.
What's the logic in it? Why did they say they wanted to do that?
Well, they deemed it not essential.
Oh, those dirtbags with the non-essential stuff anymore.
Yeah, they deemed it not.
You show me a senator without a fresh cut, I'll show you a dirtbag.
Yeah. You know, I mean, they deemed it not. And in some ways, you're going to get a lot of barbers trying to really bootleg themselves into the industry. That's what could happen too.
Yeah, and that's probably what is going to happen. But it's counterproductive because they want tradesmen. They've made an effort to try to remove the license to get more tradesmen, but then the licensing isn't going away. So you're going to remove the ability to obtain a license for people. How much sense does that make?
Well, they have talked about taking away their license too. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and that's even a bigger topic because like we talk about the professional image,
Yeah.
the life skills, the communication, the comical diseases, sanitation.
That's gonna kind of defeat the purpose of what we're trying to do is help the industry grow. I feel like that's gonna make it go back farther back than what it was before, in my opinion, because it's gonna have people, did not sanitize, like sanitary, or like they'll not cut properly or do shampoos or anything like that. Like it's gonna be.
And I think it's more realistic. It's more realistic for them to get that 15, 30, 20,000 back than these people that are taking out 60,000, 70, upwards to $150,000.
$250,000.
Yeah, and
$300,000.
they're gonna die probably before they pay that back. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get that 13, 15, 20 back. That's gonna happen. So why would you take that away?
Some people are not paying that back.
No, I mean, and they're not gonna ever be able to pay it back.
So I mean, I hope something comes. Well, the key is that people need to stop paying attention to their local legislators and their laws that's being passed in their state. Because I know a lot of people just not up, like, oh, I ain't really messing with politics. But it's to the point now when it's affecting your industry, you need to start thinking and looking at it.
If you're a barber, or cosmetologist, or any kind of tradesman, and you haven't started paying attention to what they're doing with the laws since COVID, you're messing up. Because they just did whatever they wanted to us through all of COVID, through the whole COVID process. So, I mean, we really need to be more invested in this, and because our industry is kind of just getting thrown around, and they're just doing whatever with it, with no reasoning behind it, in my opinion.
And I think we need to stand up, because if that gets passed so easy, what other
things could they do to help affect our industry?
Not just our industry, but industries out there that has like certificates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton of certificate programs out there.
How do you get? I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
I mean, well, again, we need to vote. We need to on our lower level, like city, state. We need to come out in full force, and see who we are putting in office, who we put in position to make these decisions for us.
Maybe they think we're getting too powerful.
Maybe because we think we're making too much money and we're not.
No, we're not we. We're not we. So
we're not. Like, man, these dudes is not showing up.
I mean,
too much money now.
But then a lot of barbers probably would not even want to regulate and show what they're making. And then,
yeah,
you know what I mean. I hope it doesn't happen, because the love for our industry is important with the education. Education changes situations. And the more you learn, the more you earn. You know what I mean? And I could see the disparity in barbers who don't have their license, who are still cutting and trying to make some money. And I see the disparity. It's hard to grow. It's hard to grow, because the minute you tell someone that you're raising your price and you don't have a license and you've been cutting in your house, they're like, man, you don't got your license? Jordan cut better than you. They ain't gonna say that to you. They say it to somebody else.
They might say it to you. They might say it to you.
But you know what I mean? And I know a lot of people right now who go to get house cuts at barbers who don't have their license. They're like, man, you the best barber ever. The reason they're saying that is because their price.
You're charging $10 for a haircut.
$6, $7, $8.
Sheesh.
You know what I mean? And they might give you a $5 every now and then. Sometimes they don't even tip you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But man, you're nice. And there's some great barbers who are out there who aren't their license. Some great barbers who can cut. But there's more than that. It's the next step now in being the businessman that you are. Knowing about sanitation, knowing about the laws, knowing about the rules, being in conversations where we're talking about paying your taxes, being in conversations where we're talking about, hey, let's go to a hair show. And not saying that you can't do it if you don't have your license, but you know how you feel when you're not official.
Yeah. And I've been there before, even right before I got my license. Coming on this podcast, y'all can go back to when I first got this podcast. Kurt was like, you're a barber. I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't have a license. He's like, no, you're a barber. But I didn't feel like a barber. I didn't feel like I've actually accomplished it until I got my license. I couldn't say I've arrived. I couldn't feel like that. I had to run through that finish line and get there to feel like I earned it. And Jordan, I don't know how you felt after all this time. I mean, of course, with us roasting you all the time, it probably wasn't great, but
no, it was a relief when I got mine, for sure. I was happy that I got mine. it did kind of feel like it was always in the back of my head. Like, I was like, dang, anytime this dude can walk in and not see my certificate on the wall, I can just be out of here.
It just feels good to have your name on something that's official with a sealed stamp of the state and saying you accomplished something. I mean, that's a great feeling for your craft, seeing that you put in the work, and it just makes you walk a different way. Makes you feel a different way.
And it's powerful, man. When you finally like accomplish something in your life, when you finally do something for yourself, set a goal, work hard to obtain it. Most people haven't done that. A lot of people haven't done that. I mean, graduating high school that's an accomplishment. But after high school, I didn't go to college. I didn't try to work towards anything. That was like that's probably my biggest goal from graduating high school was me obtaining my barber's license. But it just opens the door to say, hey, I can do this. What else can I do? It makes you feel like you are unstoppable. Like whatever you decide to do, you can go do it.
Yep. I mean, it's big. It's important. So, I mean, I hope we, again, check out the state where you're in. Check out this new law that might be getting ready to be passed. And even if it's not for you because you have your license, think about that person behind you who's looking for a job. Think about that person behind you who really want to get into this industry, but now, and the communities that it's going to really affect is the really underserved communities. People who don't have the funds to go to school.
Yeah.
And doesn't have a good credit to go get a loan. And it's going to affect the people in the underserved communities heavily.
It changes people's lives. It's not.
Yeah.
So are they saying they're going to take that from all like education in general? Like is colleges, like all that?
No, just barber.
Just barber?
Yeah, the cosmetology industry.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's major.
Yeah, that is major.
I don't know what the statistics say, how many people use financial aid. You know what I mean? But I know like Wands was talking about how they took it away from Philly years ago. And they started bringing it back slowly. And I hope I am thinking maybe one thing that I'm thinking that it probably has to do with is the rate that people pay their funding back. Because when you take a loan for school, you got to pay that back. And most people don't realize that. And a lot of students, they take their loan, they get the Pell Grant first off, which is probably somewhere upwards of $5,000 to $9,000, and then you have maybe the rest, probably $6,000 to $7,000 you got to pay back. But on top of that, with lots of mistakes that students make, they try to take extra money out, $1,000, $1,500, because I think the max you can take out after with financial aid, the max the school can, I think it's about $29,000, $30,000. So if your school is maybe like $18,000, $19,000, you can take up the amount left over. And some students take that out not realizing they have to pay that back.
I think it's just free money.
You think it's just free money. Your Pell Grant is free money. And if you work with the career services where they have a program where they can get you into school for free through vocational rehab or workforce development, that's another option where they'll pay you to go to school or they'll pay school for you. So there's resources out there, like some banks offer financial aid, some credit unions offer financial aid. So, I mean, there's some options out there, but there's nothing like going and signing up and you have to put no money down and you don't have to worry about nothing until after you graduate, then you start paying your loans back. Have you? I know, Jordan, you went through financial aid,
mm-hmm.
and you got loans out.
Yep.
How did that work out as far as you starting to pay back? Have you started, and did they send you some information about paying back yet?
Yeah, they finally sent me actually something 2 weeks ago. So what I'm gonna do, instead of paying back them directly, I'm going to the bank and I'm gonna take me out a loan and then pay it off, and I'll pay the bank back. So which is a lower interest rate.
Ooh.
So that's a little, I guess, gem for anybody that's listening.
I mean, but that's what this is for. That's what this is for.
It's only $5,000, but that's easy that's pretty easy to pay off in probably like 2 or 3 years. If not a little bit, probably sooner than that. It depends on how fast you want to pay it off.
You making $2,000 a week, you should be able to pay that off in a month.
I mean, yeah. This dude.
I mean, no, just
He's not right though. He's wrong.
I mean, but that's the. How do you think about that?
What do you mean, like the?
Yeah, just go to the bank, get a loan, and pay it off. And
My dad was the one that told me about that. He was
Right.
like, because he's in student debt now. He owes like $27,000
Because-
and he's been paying on it for 15, 20 years now.
Because-
and it hasn't went down at all.
because interest.
Yeah.
And every year you don't pay. And a lot of students out there, when they don't pay, it just keeps going up.
So he just told me, he's like, yeah, just go to the bank and take out a loan and pay it off completely. You don't have to worry about it and pay back the bank.
And that's a great thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I hope that day doesn't come. But because we are one of the few professions that AI is not going to take over.
Nope. Safe from AI.
Yeah,
They need that.
we are one of the few professions that AI is not going to take over. I know we talked about it in previous episodes, but thinking about that in the next 2 to 3 years, how many jobs will be lost? And people will be coming to our profession trying to get in, and then there's no financial aid.
Be tough. And if you're listening right now and you're a barber, you're like, I don't care, whatever. Like maybe you want to be a shop owner. If you're a shop owner, you can't get people to work for you because there's no financial aid for them to get jobs.
But the important thing is, if you're a barber, you have to care. If you're licensed, you have to care, because if that was the case like in 1990 and they started thinking about it then, and barbers was like, man, I don't care, you wouldn't got your license right now.
There'd be no Crown Cutz Academy, be no podcast.
No. And the indicative of a man is to plant a tree with a seed. Plant a tree that you will never get shade from. And think about that. Planting a tree that you will never get shade from. Because you know how long it takes a tree to mature and gets to where it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the indicative of a man. You planting a tree, and that's the unselfishness of you understand that you giving shelter to someone else. You got a seed and you pull it down, you planting that tree that's going to develop in 30, 40 years, 50 years might be. And you will never see that tree develop. And that's how we are who we are because of others, bottom line. And if you selfishly think that and diminish the fact and say that, man, I don't care, yeah, something's wrong with you.
And get taken advantage of by the government.
Yeah.
By the man.
And that's the importance of the podcast. Just trying to give information out there to let people understand and know, hey, we are up on game. We doing research. We are studying this craft, and we want to make sure that everybody's safe out there, because we are who we are because of our listeners. And if it was good when our listeners hit us up and say, man, that episode was dope, thank you, it made me think differently.
That's probably one of the best parts about this is people hitting you up and like complimenting you and asking you, telling you that you're doing well. I mean, and that's worth it, to keep the drive going, because we've been pretty consistent. What's this, episode 120 something?
Oh no, we passed 140.
140, so
144, 143.
143.
Man.
Yeah, up there's about to hit our 150. We got our anniversary for that. What are we gonna do for that?
Shoot some fireworks in here.
Go out to
Is
eat.
that cool, Mitch? Let off some fireworks in here.
We gotta do something for 150. We gotta do something for episode 150.
You gotta get one of them horns.
Yeah, I mean something. We gotta do something. I know we got planned. Let's think about something, a special episode.
We can go to interviews of the people that listen to Barber College Success throughout their career, and now they're in shops working. We can get like snippets of them thanking us and play them.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just an option. I was just trying to think of options.
I mean, that's a good one. What does that sound like, Mitch? Just like cutting up a whole bunch of episodes and put it together for 150? Yeah. Mitch,
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Mitch is an engineer in the back. He makes all this happen. Shout out for Mitch. Yep. If you ever want to get into the podcast world and you want to know how to start, how to get popping, how to do it, how to get going, hit up Mitch at Maypop Studio. He will get you right, and he can do a podcast from away. He can just shoot you into the studio and get you going.
Do a remote.
Yeah, you don't have to be in the studio to do the podcast. So anywhere you are right now in the world, the UK, Canada, Australia,
Madagascar,
Iceland.
Yeah, I just say you took my favorite one.
We need to get people to send us videos of them thanking us. That if you're listening to this podcast, you're a regular listener, send us a video of you thanking Barber College Success. If we've helped you in any way,
Yeah.
we at least put them on a page, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
Doing like a little a collage for episode 150. I mean, like that stat we read that day, or you sent me. I think Ryan sent it to me too. Where most podcasts don't go to about like what?
Most people don't make it past the second episode, like 70%.
He sent me that too. I said that's crazy.
Yeah, that's oof.
Just being consistent.
I mean, that's what it's about. Consistency.
You got content for days.
Oh yeah. We got content for days. Yeah.
Everything from mafia to physical therapy to
and
taxes.
I mean, mental health, the barber flex. I mean, sometimes I try to regurgitate and remember the episodes. I'm like, man,
There's a lot of them.
we've done a lot. I mean, we've had some strong guests. I mean, from how to study for the test. That was big.
We need barber comedians.
A barber comedian.
Yeah, like doing stand up while cutting hair or something. Well, I guess Barber June.
Barber June.
He's on his way.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
there.
shout out to Barber June. He's been on the episode. Great guy. We got some great people. We got some great hitters on this episode on the podcast.
Yeah, heavy hitters.
Yes, sir.
Jordan Barr's gonna be the next big one.
Jordan Beasy.
What comedian?
No, like 40 contest champions. You should. When's your next one?
They got one in September in Lebanon,
Yes.
Tennessee.
Yes, that's gonna be dope.
I'm gonna go to that. I'm gonna do that one too.
Yeah, I think. Well, I'm definitely gonna go to that one in September. My guys and I'm putting it on. Yeah, I'm gonna go down and check it out. I think there's like the reason why I want to go to it too. There's a big reptile exhibit. I think the day before, and I just want to check out reptiles and check them out.
What's your favorite? Is there a special one you want to see?
I really don't like reptiles
like
like
snakes?
that. Not really. I just want to see them in their setting.
Would you hold a snake?
Probably. I don't know. It depends. If it's a garden snake,
I got a pet snake at home. It's pretty big.
You got a
It's
pet
bow.
snake?
Yeah, it's a bow.
how big is it?
Like
2 feet. That's not big, man.
I mean, that's
You take them out and just like wrap them around you?
yeah. He just like I just let him go through my hand and jump. It's my roommate's, but it's mine too. His
Man.
name. His
What's
name's
his name?
Sabo.
I was about to ask you what the snake's name. Sabo?
Yeah,
Sounds like a killer.
Mm.
I think he named off a One Piece character. It is actually off a One Piece character.
Sanji?
No, Sabo. Luffy's brother, other brother.
Here's another. You just ruined it. I'm not that far yet. I'm not that far yet. That's a whack. You're whack, Jordan. Spoiler alert.
It's
If you
okay.
watch this, if you watch One Piece, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
One of the greatest animes ever.
I mean, hey. Do they do barbers in anime?
I haven't seen it yet.
I don't think so.
Y'all should come up with that.
That would be crazy.
That would actually be dope. But I don't know how you would put that into an anime.
He's gotta- he's gotta be like a-
Is it what's the name? What's that? It's kind of like anime, but it's what is that? I'll remember that in a second.
He gotta be like a bad A or something. He gotta be like a secret agent barber.
Something
Yeah.
because they got one with basketball, football, and soccer,
Volleyball.
Like
Yeah.
so, I'm sure they have one with cooking. Like there's not
Food Wars.
yeah.
Food
So
Wars
they
is
know
fire.
they can't make one with barber.
Yeah.
Well, you got to send them an email.
Who am I gonna send it to? Funimation.
I mean, look it up.
But who's it?
We can write it and sell it. You
Yeah.
just gotta write the story and they can sell
Yeah,
it.
that's
to them.
it. I mean, anime is taking over. I mean, it's a big part of, I think, and you won't believe how many barbers and beauticians are in anime.
Man, that's like it's so cool because like when I ask my clients, it's usually the ones I don't expect to watch it.
Bro, I was about to say the same thing.
It's always the ones like I was cutting this dude and I went to school with him and I think he's just a physical therapist now. And he was like, because I got a painting on my wall, an anime painting, and he's like, I like your Gojo. I'm like, what? You know who that is?
I was just asked kind of dude the other day. He was like 37,
Yeah.
and he was. I was like, he was like, you watch anime? That's because I said something. He's like, you watch anime, don't you? I was like, yeah. He's like, bro, I'm into it like heavy. I was
Okay.
like, for real? He was like, yeah, like Cowboy Bebop, all that. So I was like, bro, like he was telling me all the ones that he watched. And I was like, wow. I said, that's crazy. You don't even look like you'd watch anime. You never know. It's just
Yes,
like,
I mean, but how do you look like you watch anime?
Well, see, back in the day, man. Like,
yeah,
it
you
used to
could
be-
tell us apart.
Back in the day,
Yeah, you
like
can tell us apart.
you was weird if you watch, because I was a weird kid, and then now it's hot now.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Some people just watch it just because it's a trend, but we was there at the beginning.
So think about this. Your next barber competition, you dress up in anime. And cut.
Oh, okay.
and your character and the dude you cutting is dressed up as another.
I know when I would do like the hairstyle of an anime character, but as a fade.
You see what I'm saying?
That would actually be sick. You might have shown me something. That's dope.
Yeah. The next, so you start right now, September. We like what? 3 months away?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you can start buying.
You get swole, and then you wear the top hat with the reindeer horns, and you go as what's his name?
You talking about Chopper?
Chopper. Yep.
All you gotta do
No
is
shirt, cutting hair, like reindeer horn top hat.
have a piece of cloth around your waist and tie it in a knot.
You talking about? He's talking about the dude from Dragon Ball Z. So you probably thinking of
Hey man,
Broly.
Bro.
I mean, hey, that's that. You said my man came in some boxing gloves, some boxing shorts.
I mean, you're not. Yeah, I
There
mean,
should be a Halloween themed barber competition.
that would be sick too.
Yeah, everybody dress up and do haircuts.
That would be dope
I
too.
mean, why not?
No, you're not. I mean, I might really do that. I'm going to do that. Actually, I will do that.
Dye your beard blonde.
No, I ain't gonna do all that.
I mean, that's part. That's part. What you
I'll get my haircut.
I know, but that's
so-
that's part of it though. I mean, you're a character.
He's got some.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know if I look good with blonde beard.
It's not.
It'll grow back so quick though.
It's not about that. It's about winning this competition and doing something different, catching people's eyes.
Do you want to win, or do you want to have a black beard your whole life?
Yeah,
I mean,
and some
I
run,
kinda-
some Run DMC glasses on, bedazzled out.
The shirt with the button unbuttoned.
Yeah. Showing the 2 hairs on your chest. You got this.
The
What's up?
two.
Y'all got jokes.
Nah, I'm
Yeah.
just, I mean, but dudes, you said dudes was dressed.
Yeah.
Dudes had color in their hair. Dudes had the whole 9.
No, I'm gonna do my thing. I feel you on that. I'm gonna run with that.
Craig, you ever seen anime?
I have. I mean, I haven't seen much of it. I mean, I don't watch much TV, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if the Celtics not playing, I ain't watching. Or the Patriots.
No. It's been a rough go.
Yeah, for both of them.
Red Sox look all right. They might have a chance.
Oh yeah, we gotta go. We go.
They might have a chance.
Fenway, here we come.
Jordan has a Yankees hat,
I mean,
a green one.
Look, I'm
Jordan
not
plays
a baseball fan. I just like the hats.
It's
The hats
his
are hard.
outfit.
You can't wear a Yankees hat.
I don't like football hats.
What?
That's
Baseball hats are the way to go.
they don't look right.
What? Man. But yeah, man, let's so this was a great episode. What do you guys think? What is your last words about the episode? We talked about the barber show. We talked about this industry, about what the government is trying to do, and we got to protect our industry. So what is the last words, the last things you want to say before we get off?
That was it. Shh.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that law doesn't go through with the whole financial aid, because that's really I know that's gonna impact us, like our industry, a lot. So I really hope that doesn't pass. I mean, yeah, if you're in school, go to barber competitions, do some barber competitions. Don't be scared to do them. Don't be scared to fail, because eventually you're gonna learn from all the things that you don't do good in. I mean, it's just no way you're not gonna fail as long as you're trying. As long as you try, then you're always gonna be growing and learning.
And that's big. What you think? Mi went on a trek today. He went and rode the Twisty Trail, came back. He said, "Man, my legs are big."
Yeah, I'm hurting. I ain't gonna lie
He
to
rode
you.
the bike.
I'm gonna go to the crib, take a nap. Nah, last words. You gotta vote. Go vote. Watch the news.
Exercise your rights.
Yeah, read the paper. You know what I'm saying? Since COVID, they did whatever they wanted to us, man. Don't let them do what they want to do to us. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just you. It's all of us. We're a team. It's all of us. You gotta look at the actual situation.
Exercise your right to vote, and be up in current events. Be up in current events, especially in your community. And be a community activist. Be a community supporter. Be a community provider. And give. Because in our industry, one thing I love seeing barbers doing in our industry is giving. I love seeing when barbers get free haircuts. I love seeing when barbers just want to help out in their community, just be part of their community. Because if it wasn't for our community, we won't be where we are. And a lot of people in our community come and they patronize us, and they love patronizing us. They love paying for a nice haircut. But it's also time for us to start really thinking about our community and just giving back. It's important because if that law is passed, I mean, it'll affect a lot of people who's trying to get into this industry and trying to get careers. It's important. Pay attention. Barber College Success, brought to you by Craig Charles of Crown Cutz Academy, JC, and Crown Cutz Academy, Bristol, Virginia, and now Proficient Nail Academy. And Mr. Jordan Barr from where?
Bristol, Tennessee, J Bob on Instagram.
And my guy to my left.
Ammi Fields, Ammi Your Barber, Marion, Virginia.
And come check out the studio. See these great art that's up in this shop. Ooh.
Barbershop and gallery, yeah.
If you passing through, I don't know of another barbershop that has a gallery. My favorite artist of all time is Ammi's dad.
Appreciate you.
I mean, for real. I mean, that's my favorite artist. I ain't trying to.
The man was cold.
He was cold.
The man was sick with it. He was, and I just love the way his graphics, how it's just so much into his work.
You feel it.
Yes.